Athletic Bilbao. What are you doing?
I'm holding my tie because I took it off and I have to wear it on each clip. I made a promise for the kids.
That's not a fashion statement. You need to remove it.
Hashtag OOTD.
So, many people were asking, where was our coverage on Barcelona? Again, I mentioned on the last clip, I think I was caught in the twilight zone.
Wait, hold.
Let me hear it.
It was not mentioning where was your
I was
coverage
trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Barcelona. It was on every single clip this weekend. Real Madrid loses 4-0 in last year's game in their Spanish Super Cup, whatever it was in 2014. And, oh, they suck and they can't play, and this, what does this mean for Real Madrid? But when Francis goes on vacation, and only one commentator even wanted to mention that, and Barcelona loses 4-0, 5-1 total on aggregate, right? You all freak out. He wasn't here. We couldn't do anything. They don't have chargers, and where were you?
All you had to do was just put on your funeral/accountant tie and just get on the clip, Jason, and tell them what the people needed to hear.
And they would have freaked. They would have been like, oh, hashtag a la Maxwell.
But the thing is, we had to talk about this because one thing many people will say, oh, this is a Super Cup. No one really cares about it. Roll the tape. Who cares about it?
What's with all the Atletico Madrid shirts?
I knew you were going to say something like that.
They look the same.
Probably could have just blended in and no one would have noticed, just celebrated. But
Griezmann's walking around.
This meant a lot to Bilbao, and it rightly so. A 4-0 victory over last season's champions, last season's European champions, is fantastic for them, and they looked great throughout, and I have to give them a lot of credit for that. But people are expecting me to just jump on the Barcelona hate bandwagon, and I'm afraid I'm not going to do it because I'm biased. I'm smarter than that. The same thing I said about Real Madrid. With Real Madrid last season, it was more of like a transitional phase when I was kind of like, okay, this could be a little shaky. Barcelona had a terrible start to last season. They lost to Real Madrid. Not a terrible, but they didn't look as in form. And people right away, oh, this is going to be Real Madrid's season. Real Madrid won the first Clásico. They look great. Suarez isn't fitting in, blah, blah, blah. Look what happened. Just don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah,
is that true?
No,
is that saying?
That makes sense. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I just made up a bunch of things. Don't count your baskets before the eggs get the eggs back and chickens hatch.
By the way, I swear this only applies to world football. Because, again, Manuel Pellegrini, I'm going to use Manchester City example. They win the Premier League halfway through last season. We got to sack Pellegrini. We're only going to finish second in the Premier League. Got to sack him, right? Okay, now, Barcelona wins the treble.
Yeah.
They lose the Spanish Super Cup. And immediately the criticisms come out, and I understand why. Because is there really a good reason why Barcelona should have lost to Athletic Bilbao? No. And credit absolutely deserving to Bilbao. I can call him Bilbao.
Yeah, that's what I do. Okay. You just can't call him Ick.
Ow. So what I found from this is more impressive to me was not just the 4-0 victory, actually was the 1-1 draw yesterday. Yeah. And that was because they showed that emotionally Barcelona was not over the fact that they lost and got beat bad. And there was a lot of finger pointing.
Yeah.
Do we blame Messi? Nice timing. Do we blame Iniesta? Hold on. Keep going. Do we blame Danny Alves? But actually they kept saying, is it Suarez's fault if Neymar didn't have the mumps, if Pique didn't get red carded? Look. You've said this over and over and over again. Don't make excuses. Great teams find ways to win when certain things like Pique getting red carded happen.
So this is the same way about Chelsea. You can't jump on them too early. And I'm not a Barcelona fanboy. I wanted Juventus to win the Champions League final, full disclosure. That's fine. I just like the underdog to win. But the thing about Barcelona is that what it is worrying is not as much. The 1-1 draw definitely is a strong case to be made for how good Bilbao were to go to the new camp and be able to get a 1-1 draw. It's the fact that they've conceded 9 goals in 3 games.
Right.
That is worrying because Barcelona, when they were in their prime, they managed to have a great balance between how fantastic they are going forward, but still were stable at the back. And they haven't really. Jordi Alba wasn't playing, of course, and they still need him to come back, but they still looked. It's a similar team to last season, and it is worrying that they're conceding those amount of goals and how easily those goals were going in, especially against Sevilla after being so comfortable and having to concede those goals late and allow Sevilla back into the game before it went into extra time. And it's not as much, you can't just put the blame all like Messi's not been scoring. Like, it was a fantastic goal, their first goal against Bilbao, to get them back in the game. Did you see the keeper like crowd over the ball? He was like, the Bilbao keeper was like, no, you're not taking it. You already scored. But this is one thing though. Do you notice, like, it's not as much the space that Messi can create on his own, which he does so well, but it just seemed that space became just a little bit narrower when Neymar's not there, because they have to worry about that outlet, which happened so many times last season when Messi would cut back onto his left, ping it outside, and suddenly Neymar's in a 1-1 situation, which he's fantastic at. And Pedro, don't get me wrong, a great goal in obviously the UEFA Super Cup, but he doesn't give that same dynamic as Neymar, and I think that was something that I took from it, as well as the fact that they were conceding goals far too easily.
Pedro might be on the move.
Yeah.
I know we know that he is not a huge fan of being a super sub, and understandably so, because if he does move to the Premier League, is there any squad in the Premier League that wouldn't have him starting matches?
No, I think he would fit in well to Manchester United. I think that's just something that, with today, apparently they agreed terms, personal terms. I think that Pedro has just spent his life being the understudy. He comes on and he has great moments, but he's never going to be the starter. He's always a bridesmaid. He's never going to be the bride.
He's always catching the bouquet.
Yeah, because sometimes you can find ways to not be the bride but still be really influential, because Neymar has found that with Suarez as well, because Messi's always going to be the bride, but Pedro would still start behind and come on in flashes. I think he wants to be that starting figure for a team, and I think Manchester United can provide him with that platform.
In addition to that, Ter Stegen looks... Ter Stegen,
yeah.
Ter Stegen, power name, right up there with Schweinsteiger and Aubameyang and Per Mertesacker. In my all-power starting 11. Looks lost.
Yeah, he does.
And just looks flustered. Again, I said for hockey too. Goalkeepers are crazy.
Yeah,
to put yourself in that position on a regular basis makes you like pathologically insane, in a good way. Like, Neuer's not a normal person. No, Ter Stegen's not a normal person.
No, Oliver Kahn was the epitome of not a normal person. That was a German goalkeeper who I would like to invite to a dinner party just to see what he did when he was drunk. There would be glasses thrown. It would be like, have you seen Django? When Leonardo DiCaprio was sitting there so casual.
Hey! Now lay your palms flat on that tabletop. If you lift those palms off that turtle shell tabletop, Mr. Pooch is going to let loose with both barrels that sawed off.
Back to the quick point of Ter Stegen, he looks lost, and Bravo is now going to be starting in his place. Going into the season.
And that's something that last season many people thought, and me included, that Ter Stegen was preferred, because Bravo played mostly all of the La Liga games. I think played them all, and Ter Stegen was used in the Champions League and domestically. And it's like, that's an interesting approach to take, but it's gonna have its flaws, because yes, it's different styles of playing the Champions League than it is La Liga, but your goalkeeper's confidence has got to be hit. Bravo's confidence has got to have been hit when he wasn't playing in the Champions League final, because he did have a good campaign in goals and was considered the best goalkeeper in La Liga.
He was La Liga team of the season.
Exactly. So if he's not playing in the Champions League, I think it's a good decision to be consistent with a goalkeeper. Ter Stegen's young, so they're trying to mature him forward, but it's an interesting approach that I think Luis Enrique wanted to imply, to be like, hey, look at me. New approach here, different goalkeeper. Still beat you guys if I play a different goalkeeper. Speaking
of Luis Enrique, we have what I always consider a backhanded compliment on Athletic Bilbao. I think it's graphic number 5. Number 5. Number 5. Congrats to Athletic. They deserve to win the tie. My team did well, but the game ended at the moment at that red card.
Yeah.
Twitter, Barca stuff. Obviously, the translation, obviously.
Before we go into the red card, I think there was more comments on this. Busquets had his
graphic number 3.
Can we have graphic number 3? And with graphic number 3, Sergio Busquets. We tried, but it wasn't to be. After red card, impossible. Why red? Ref says for insults, think there was no need to give a red. And this is something that I have noticed so many times in La Liga football. The referees get dog's abuse. Sometimes they come so close to their face, and I understand in European culture, a lot of the time, having just been back from Paris, people talk this close to you.
Oh, God.
Let's not do it. It's too weird. It's too weird. I don't want to do it. We got really close. We're just giving the comment section more fuel, Jason. We can't do it. Anyway, they get really close to people's faces. So I understand that, but that's not okay for a referee. His referees literally in Spain have to draw. What is it? This is my...
They use like the spray paint.
This is my square. Don't dare come in here. You can't get in here.
What is it from Jackass 2? You don't step over the line? Yeah. Oh, you stepped over the line.
Because that's what they do, and they get in their face. So it's no surprise that Busquets is the one defending him, because he does this more than anyone else. When he's down on the ground, he's writhing around in pain. Then he gets up and gets in the referee's face saying, I want a red card for this guy because he just did this. And it's kind of funny to see that him trying to defend Pique, which was clear abuse directed towards it. And in the letter of the law, don't get me wrong, I don't think this... It's different because they'll imply it in cases like this when he's really aggressive, but if a guy just walked by the referee, he's like, fuck you. He's not going to send him off for that because he doesn't seem so aggressive. So they don't imply this rule as consistently as they should if they want to show that this is something you cannot do. So there is a case to be made.
Drastic effects because Pique is now out for the first game of the Liga.
First game. And the thing is with Pique, he looked a little disorientated at the start. I would give him so much credit last season for how well he came back from a poor season. Let's not hope he's not hot and cold and this is going to be another somewhat under par season, but he was very, very upset and he directed a lot of his hate towards the linesman. And the referee, by letter of the law, has the right to do that if it is for abuse. So I cannot sit here and say that he shouldn't have been sent off. But you got to give credit to Bilbao, and I think that Luis Enrique, as you said there, has been a little bit condescending with what he's saying. He's like, yeah, the game was lost.
I mean, but here's
the game was lost when you lost 4-0, mate.
Right, absolutely true. Although I loved the amount of circulation from every source known to man, even BBC, Sky Sports, Bleacher Report, Reddit, everything. Here's 5 reasons why Barcelona can still win the Spanish Super Cup. And you go, yes, when you have like the goal-scoring abilities between Messi and Suarez, even without a Neymar, and still Iniesta, which I do love when he turns back the clock and makes runs. Top 10 Iniesta runs is now on Reddit. It's amazing. Please look at that. They're not going to win that game 5-0 to win on aggregate. That's that wasn't going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen. And a 1-1 draw.
I feel like I would be.
Well, hindsight is 2020, and I get that. But like again,
I feel like I would be It's something that I would have said at the time, and it might have happened because it's something that has happened before, and you cannot. In football, that's the beauty of the game, especially with Barcelona. If Neymar was fit, maybe because he provides more goals. And I think
he has the mumps.
Yeah, he has the mumps.
And his face is super swollen. It's really funny.
How does he look? Did you see a picture of it? It looked like he just got his wisdom teeth taken out. But overall, Bilbao deserve to win, and this is going to spiral towards the next season. I've been asked this question on many different platforms already. Is this going to mean the La Liga is going to have more competitors this season? Is going to be, is Atletico Madrid with all their signings going to make a movement forward? I'm not going to tell you because you have to watch the previews. There you go. Look at that for a transition.
Hey, Francis, you should tell everybody what we're shooting today, and we'll be up tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They're called La Liga previews, a crazy
it's almost
endeavor.
as if we never had them planned.
We never had them
but
planned.
People...
And then...
Why are you talking about the Premier League so much? I hate you, you poop.
Gotta be honest with you commenters. You're a bit sensitive.
So yeah, the La Liga previews are coming. Barcelona, Real Madrid. I'm still laughing at my joke. What movie is that from?
I didn't hear what you said.
You poop mouth? What's that from? I need to figure it out. Anchorman, that is it. Poop. You should come here with your poop mouth. Anyway, let's get to it. I don't know what I'm going to. We can wrap this clip up.
Get to what?
I don't know. Everyone can subscribe. Everyone can come and join. I think the jet lag's hitting in and I'm getting all disorientated. My coffee is wearing off. I need Red Bull.